Mathematical equations are going to look very similar to some of the ones we've done in the past. The only thing we need to know here is the opposite of a square root is squaring. So step number one, we're going to move our 9 over by subtracting. Gives me 6 equals the square root of x. We're going to move our square root over by squaring. So we get 36 as x. And we're done. Next problem. Same thing. We're going to move our 5 over by subtracting. Gives me negative 3 root 2x plus 2 equals negative 6. Move my negative 3 over by dividing, since it's being multiplied. You get the square root is equal to 2. Again, the opposite of square roots are squares. So it'd be 2x plus 2 is equal to 4. And then the last two steps, we're going to subtract 2 to move it over. We're going to divide by 2 to move it over. We're going to get x has a value of 1. Now, one thing we do need to know about extraneous values again. Anytime you take the square root of something, this answer cannot be negative. So if you were solving one of these and you have an x out here, and let's say that you have a value of like negative 3 for x, you'd have to throw it out because the square root cannot be negative, just like absolute values. Let's do a couple more. Again, there's nothing to move over here. All that stuff is inside the house, so the very first thing we're having to move over is going to be that square root. So 3n plus 10 is equal to undo a square root, we have to square the whole side, not just part of it. In order to square something, you have to multiply it times itself. So in order to multiply that times itself, it must be FOILed. So it's going to be n times 4, 4 times n, 4 times 4. And that's going to give you n squared. I'm going to go ahead and combine like terms. Plus 16. Now you end up with a quadratic equation. I'm combining like terms. To move 3n over, I'm going to subtract 3n. To move plus 10 over, I'm going to subtract 10. So it gives me 0 equals n squared plus 5n plus 6. We always try to factor first. If it's not factorable, you can use my method. So we're looking for what? As to give you 5, multiplies to give you 6, which is a positive 2 and a positive 3. So therefore, n is equal to a negative 2, and n is equal to a negative 3. Now let me remind you of something I just told you, though. Anytime you take the square root of something, it cannot equal a negative. So therefore, when you plug in negative 2, make sure you don't get a negative answer. Negative 2 plus 4, no, that's fine, that's 2. Negative 3 plus 4, that's fine, that's 1. So therefore, we have no extraneous answers, both of them work. Now, before you do that, sometimes it might require a little bit of cleanup. I'm just going to show you how to clean this up. We won't work it all the way out. To get a minus 5, we're going to add 5. It gives me 2 times the square root of n plus 1 equals 2n plus 6. Since this is multiplied by 2, to move it over, we're going to divide by 2. Make sure you don't just do part of it divided by 2, but you do all of it. So the square root of n plus 1 equals 2m divided by 2 is m. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And you'd work it then just like we worked the last one.